with me that there is no such perfect marriage anywhere, except, of course, you and I want to deceive ourselves. Today, we have someone in the studio. He is a conflict resolution manager and community mediator. And I'm talking about Evangelist Rufus Adesanya Hastrop. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, madam.
It's a blue day.
Yes, that is this is a blue day. Thank God.
So you're welcome to our studio.
Thanks so much. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much.
for joining us.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now, talking about conflict resolution, tell us more about it. What is conflict resolution in marriage?
Yes, if we have to define conflict, gender stand, how life.
And that is inevitable anyway.
Of course, definitely.
But our ability to resolve
to
it
resolve it, yes.
makes the difference.
That is why we are here this morning for
Okay.
discussion.
Now, at what point, okay, let me just say, when this conflict exists, at what point should, okay?
That is, once there's a serious disagreement or argument in your marriage, and this has lingered, in line with your question for a long time. Now, you need to sit down to have that sincere evaluation. So, what is the cause of this conflict in a marriage? Now, what you have to do now is, what exactly am I doing in fueling the conflict, or perhaps causing the conflict in the first place?
Okay.
So now, if you now do that self-evaluation, and you now see, okay, the fault is not from you, the number 2 step is communication. So you need to call your spouse to order, because like they say, it takes 2 to tango. So marriage consists of 2 individuals, not 1 person. So having done your own side of the evaluation, you have to talk to your spouse, either your husband or wife, as the case may be. Now, this marriage is about to rock the boat. What do? I've set through myself, and I'm here to see where I'm fueling the conflict, or perhaps any way that I'm causing the conflict. Now, let us discuss. So after that discussion, if both now agree that, okay, there are merits of issues, so together now, they now take it one after the other. But that evaluation will now unveil or reveal a lot of things. Because what we have seen here is a lot of couples today, they hardly communicate. They hardly communicate. And once you do not communicate, you operate in this, the realm of speculation, or perhaps assumption. Assumption. Maybe the way she looks, the problem persists. Then you now go to number 3, that is prayer. Yeah, you can now go through
Prayer will just come out.
Exactly.
Wow.
You return it back to who is
back to
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Perhaps, life is funny. In conflict in general now, wherever there is conflict, anywhere, for instance now in Nigeria today, where we have the bandits, the terrorists, whatever, do you know we have what we call merchants of war? Merchants of war. So there are people who make money from that conflict.
Yeah.
So people selling guns, selling ammunition, selling foods to them, and so they will not like that conflict to subside.
So, yes.
So the same thing marriage.
Somebody is fueling
conflict somewhere. So those are the things you have to take back to God.
Like it's always greener in my neighbor's compound. Thereby, I'm not accepting the fact that what works for Mr. A might not work for Mr. B.
Yes.
Now let's talk about the common causes of conflict in marriages. Of course, there are different reasons why people have misunderstanding in different homes.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the common ones. What do you think are the common reasons, causes of conflict in marriages?
Yes, like you said, due to individual difference, money. When people are
the root of all evil.
when people are unable to meet up with their finances, yes, money. Then number 2 is this issue of misunderstanding. Yes, misunderstanding. I discussed somewhere recently about marriage, and I titled the program "Understanding Your Spouse." Very important. There are 3 key areas you need to understand your spouse. Number 1 is the aspect of his or her mental capacity, and what he or she could take. The level of his or her IQ is important. Then once you understand that mental capacity, you help in other areas. Then number two is the physical capacity, then the physical ability. Sometimes we expect much or too much from what people can deliver in terms of physical ability. Then number three is the spiritual capacity. Yes, some men, they will say, okay, my wife, there's a problem, let us pray together, let us do this, and she cannot do it. Or he does not have such capacity. And as we know, you can never give what you don't have. So number two major cause or causes of conflict in marriage is lack of understanding. Then number three is this issue of uncontrolled anger. You know, temperament different. Temperament differs. So uncontrolled anger. Any small thing you beat, any small thing you shout, anything small thing you nag. And in line with my study, domestic violence does not only limited to beating or fighting alone. Verbal abuse is part of domestic violence. So uncontrolled anger. Then number four, sexual incompatibility that could lead to infidelity. Home other is what I call conflict of interest.
Okay.
Exactly. The owner of this one, we claim
Okay. We always want to favor.
exactly is his owner. So we can continue to be talking about it. But what is important is what can we do to maintain peace at home or to resolve conflict? Because why? If your home is not enjoyable and peaceful, you cannot get peace anywhere. Honestly, it's a lady who happens to be a banker. Was asked to go on 2 weeks leave without pay. What happened? She happens to be a cashier in a bank where she worked, and a